Stream is live.
You live, baby.
Peace to the tribe. What's
Yes,
the word with it,
sir.
y'all?
You
We
know
are
what it is, man.
It's the Collective Podcast. We are back with another episode. It's episode 5, right? You know what I'm saying? Big 5, you know.
Is it 5 already?
Yeah, man.
I mean already. Damn.
Season 2, you know what I'm saying? We should have a segment, See in the Kitchen.
Man. Well, I'm gonna get to that in I be in the kitchen all day with the new job, man.
Okay. But what's up with the guys, man? What's the word with it, y'all? How we feeling?
Feeling good, man. You know, like I always say, another day, another idea. Just like my man AD usually say, pushing the narrative forward. It's
Of course, man.
always juicing the juices, you know.
I'm feeling good.
Pause that.
I'm feeling good. Had a great day. No bad days.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
I like that. You know, when you said that no bad days, it kind of makes me think about, you know, the main theme of the show tonight. And it's like, and it's crazy, like C had really spoke fire into this. And it's about the sunshine and like the dirt of like the progress of like the things that you're doing. Whereas it's like, you know, art, you know, media, maybe entrepreneurship, just whatever. You know, I feel like when it comes to that, right, nobody really seeing like, I'm gonna say like this, everybody love the grind when it's working.
Right, yeah.
But when it's not clicking, it's like some reason, you know, how y'all feel about that?
I agree for it. You know, a lot of times people think, you know, the grind or, you know, the process is overnight or like a quick go, or even just like, you know, you're supposed to see your goals immediately, but that's not really like reality for, especially with, you know, stuff like entrepreneurship and running your own businesses and stuff like that. You're gonna go through a lot to reach those milestones, you know. So
Yeah. I'm just I'm a out the dirt, out the mud type of dude. I know that's where everything is at. You know, figuratively speaking, it's like, you know, if you're growing something, it's like you know, I've grown before, so you want to make sure you got good soil. Like that's where all the nutrients is at. That's where, you know, that's where life stems from. You know, so yeah, like it's life in the dirt for real. Don't get, you know, stuck in the dirt. Like, you know, you gotta learn how to utilize those nutrients to create something and you know, reach for something higher.
I want to say like I say entrepreneurship, but that's really anything, to be honest. Like if you start in a new journey, new job, new relationship, like if you're doing anything, you gotta go do the highs and the lows. You gotta do that roller coaster, you know.
You know why? Like the thing about the roller coaster makes it so hard for people to see is that like most people get on the roller coaster and like they don't enjoy the ride because the ride wasn't good. The ride didn't have this and that. It was actually like the ride wasn't it. The ride. Let me say this right because I'm butchering my words, like I'm Benny the Butcher. But people don't like the ride is because they was expecting the ride to be something other than what it is.
Expectations. I got
right,
you.
like the grind, whatever they put their craft into, they had this expectation about it until it got changed and morphed, or they into a certain point.
Right.
And it's like it should be like this. It's like, nah, this how it is for all the people who doing this particular thing or skill.
I got you. That makes sense. That's another perspective to. Okay, I like. Okay.
Everything, like, there's no end to anything. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's no linear path. Everything moves, cyclically. If I said that right, cycles, in the circle, should I say?
Right.
So, with that being said, it's like there's always whatever new path or new step you going in. Like, you gotta know it's gonna take work, effort, to be able to last, maintain, or prosper, whatever you choose to do. In that lane, you're gonna have to take everything you've learned and in life, you know, and utilize that, for your success in anything you do.
So I like that, bro. Like, I feel like what you just said there is kind of like you was breaking the illusion of like the progress, just like the sunshine that everybody is trying to see, but they don't really look for those moments where they can grow. Shout out to Elijah Green Grow. Make sure y'all copy some fits.
Yeah, man. We got new merch for the summer, man.
For
I
sure.
like that. I like that bucket hat.
Appreciate you. It's a classic.
Not for real, man.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
But
I mean, as far as breaking the illusion, all that type of stuff. Man, yeah, nothing is as it seems.
Mm-hmm.
As far
yeah,
as
nah, for real, man.
what's really winning out here, what success really looks like. Most folk are sold into a dream that is really gonna lead them down a path that they really ain't necessarily they might not be ready for.
Right. I feel like that's one of those like to each his own kind of things, like a lot of like people, kind of see someone doing they want to do or what they want to be, and it's kind of like, yeah, I want to do that, or that's my inspiration, da da da. But then once you step into it and start to do the work, it's like, oh, okay, like this what it takes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like what Elijah said. He talked about the illusion of winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we think about the terms of winning and losing, right? If C is winning today, that means somebody got to be losing, and like we want to get the mindsets out of that, because ain't nobody really winning or losing. We're really all in this together. We're a collective.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that we try to compete against each other. You know what I'm saying? We see people's progress, or we see what they post on social media of the good times only, and just be like, man, like, like you brought up relationships. You might see someone post a couple. You might never know. They argue before they post that picture.
Right, yeah.
But we cling on to things that we see outside of ourselves. Like,
that's real.
Like,
go
ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say, like, it goes back to being humble and grateful and thankful. You never like the whole car, bike, walk saying, like you complain about your car, but someone on the bike and they murmuring about the bike, but it's someone, just watching them that's gotta walk a couple miles to the store. It's,
yeah,
that whole your mentality and perspective, the way you react to things, it plays a big part in everything. Dropping my phone.
Man, you good.
But yeah, man.
I like that point that AD made earlier, just as far as like the perception of winning and losing.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, like I don't know. I've experienced joy in life, and I've definitely experienced like sorrow.
Right.
But like I'm at a point now where it's like
Right.
no matter what I'm like, no matter what happens, uh, I don't know. Yeah, I can't say like I've experienced, the worst things that could happen to me, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I'm at a frequency that like no matter whatever, good or bad, I kind of maintain like a vibe in a sense that like keeps me through everything. My highs aren't too high and my lows ain't too low. I just kind of stay
Mm-hmm.
stay maintained for.
So like,
Very related.
dog, like you also like really speaking to like, just because a certain type of struggle or maybe a little shift in the raft happens doesn't mean that something is wrong. Like, isn't this a part of the process? Like, you ask to be, like, let's say a fighter, you ask to be a fighter, but you losing your first few fights. You know what I'm saying? Now you finna quit. Now you finna give up. You know what I'm saying? But like those losses or lessons, right? Change your mindset and your words. You realize, oh, this is actually making me be the fighter I'm supposed to be, growing who I'm supposed to belong to. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you got a music deal and your shot got canceled, or you missed your interview. You know what I'm saying? Is everything over now just because you had everything banked on that one thing? No. I feel like that's the reality of growth that like we have to make ourselves aware to, in order to like, indulge in the sunshine and the dirt, because dirt is not bad.
Life keeps going. Sometimes, those bad days or losses or like you said, the lessons, that's what that's what you need to grow. That's what you need to grow or try different or look at it different or just like reflect and really see, maybe I can switch this up. Maybe I can do that a little different. Maybe, like going back to the whole accountability thing, like maybe I can, get a little better, do a little better on this, whatever that looks like to you, don't let those, but like you said, like let the losses be lessons for,
To grow, you got to get rid of old ways. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you had a setback, change your system. Because when we go after goals, we tend to like, we get that goal accomplished, and then we revert back to old ways.
Right.
But to constantly knock out goals and get things done, we have to build a system.
I like how you said that, like getting the goal done, but going back to I feel like that comes with comfort. To be honest, it's like I did that. That's accomplished, so I'm good now. But in reality, it's like I knocked that off the list. So what's next?
Right.
You know what's crazy? Like the whole thing, like of me thinking about sunshine versus dirt, was something. It came from church Sunday. I was in church and something my pastor had said that really like spoke to me. He was speaking on the fact like, sometimes people do you wrong, people do you dirty, people like throw dirt on you, but they don't know what they're doing. Like it could be intentional or non-intentional, but that dirt helps you grow, because you can't just take all the good and the sunshine and take all, like all the praise and glory. Like some mess gonna come with it too. Like them people throwing dirt on you, but they don't know that they're helping you like grow into that tree.
Yeah, I can feel like a lot. Like I'm just very like
Mm-hmm.
sensitive in the sense like I know when things are kind of going on like outside of me in the
Right,
sense
right, yeah, right,
I I know when people are I know how people feel about me, you know,
right.
without them saying
Mm-hmm.
like I know who's talking about me and things like that and how you know just how people are acting and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
All like I've seen that happen time and time again,
Right,
and
right.
you know just building off what C was saying, people like throwing dirt in your name or speaking about you in certain ways and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you know people starting to have a certain outlook on you, but you know like we say, like you kind of keep that you know higher purpose in mind and like you just continue to move forward and people see that and like you know eventually time
Mm-hmm.
comes and shows like you know and like once you get out of that dirt and you
Right.
do start to shine like everybody starts to kind of you know start showing respect and like you said it kind of builds you and you know starts to you know create your legend in a sense.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know the saying, "Pressure creates diamonds."
Of
Yep.
course.
Yes,
Y'all ever
sir.
heard the rest of the phrase?
Now go ahead.
But it also
Good.
creates rubble.
Mm.
No, for sure.
So like, and what I'm trying to say is that we in life there's duality, of course. You know, there's a opposite of everything. But what makes us think that opposite is bad? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right.
why is it not simply just to be? So I just wanted to like lead that into like people's heads when they're dealing just with situations or so-called trials or trivia, because
Right.
at the end of the day, like it just makes us, you know, like real commitment, real emotional control, like
Mm-hmm.
those matter. So them days where you feel the pressure, you become a diamond, of course, but you know you got to look at the rubble that also came along with you in that process.
No,
No,
most
that's
definitely.
real. That's real. And you know, bouncing off what? Hold on, let me get him. Bouncing off what you and Elijah was saying, just about like the whole pressure and just going through those times of people throwing dirt or your name or just going through those cycles. Like over time, you kind of learn how to deal with it too, like how to move and react with it too. Like, sometimes you don't you don't need to they say the loudest person in the room don't really got nothing going on. And it's funny, I was actually watching a 50 Cent interview one time, and he was saying that like say you go to the club, right? The guy in the section, he getting rowdy, starting fights and all that. Like, bless you, man. And the guy in the club getting rowdy, starting fights, getting in everybody's face, versus the one laid back, handling his business, da. He probably the one that got more to lose, you know? Like the one that's getting rowdy and snapping on everybody, he probably don't really got too much. Like, so he can take those risks. But the more you learn yourself and the more you discover yourself and discover your worth, the less you react to certain stuff.
No, most definitely. At the same time, you always got to have a balance of, you
Right,
know,
right, right.
of each side in you. Definitely. Like, yeah, that person who's laid back is probably just, you know, probably more experienced. Like, they've been rowdy before.
That
And,
too, that too. Right, right, right.
and
It
if
was a it
they
was
ready
a
to pop off
saying.
when need be,
Hmm.
but they don't need to show it. But
Exactly.
you know, still gotta have that dog in you. Don't ever lose up.
It was a saying that I read. I think you had posted it actually, Elijah, where it was saying like I'm probably getting the some of the words wrong, but it was basically saying like don't call yourself peaceful if you can't create war or if you're not ready for war.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, another mix of saying that is there's a warrior in the garden versus a man in the war. I butchered that, but that was just a metaphor. But 100%. And I think that's something that goes over people's heads because everyone think they're capable of violence. But is people actually capable of creating peace, especially within themselves?
Yeah. I'm sure we all have, but I've definitely, been around, seen some things, some crazy things. Been around some people who've done some wild and crazy things.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
And yeah, the wildest ones are the most respectful people. like really try to you'd really be surprised. Yeah.
Y'all, real quick, y'all ever had a time where you felt like you wanted to quit or just dealt with like a losing streaker per se? And if so, what did y'all learn from that phase? Or maybe people around you that you maybe help? What y'all learned from that?
Say the question one more time.
Have y'all had a time where y'all felt like y'all wanted to quit or y'all felt like y'all was in a losing streak? Because I know y'all at this mindset now and this awareness to have this conversation with people. So I'm asking about that time where you wasn't aware and you was kind of just in your ego feel like I'm losing or I want to quit and say fuck this shit.
No, yeah, definitely. I maybe more when I was younger and less experienced, but I still go through times like that. We at the end of the day so it's like it is those times where it's like it gets hard, the pressure builds up, the responsibilities and all that weight on your shoulder, everything. You're having a little more troubled days than usual, but at the end of the day, it's like it goes back to the whole, the guy that has everything to lose or nothing to lose type thing, because it's like me having more on my plate personally now. It's like I've trained myself to push through that, to push it because like I said, we human, like everybody got those moments. It's just that whole mentality, I feel like if a lot of people got through those that mental stage of just keep going, see it through, today and tomorrow, another day. A lot of people be further than what they are, man, for real. Cause it's like if you keep going, you never know how far you can go. It's like Nipsey said, like we closer to where we try and go than where we came from. So why turn around and go back?
I've had moments where I didn't want to be here.
Right, yeah.
Alive. I've been tired. I've been hungry. I've been time after day after day, dang, it just ain't working. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm getting punished out here.
Yeah, man.
I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out. I'm getting punished. It's going bad.
Yeah, man.
At the same time, like during those times, I still like, I was fortunate enough to have like rocks in my life, people who like I knew had love for me,
Mm-hmm.
and who like, I wanted to do right by, and and doing right by, I just mean in the sense of being my best self
Right,
um,
right, right.
for them. So yeah, I yeah, I definitely know what it's like to want to give up and not want to continue on for sure. At the same time, it's like I'm a man,
Is that right? Right, exactly.
I got we got things to do. So forget let me brush the dirt off my shoulders and keep it pushing.
Especially as like, I know this is more like as a personal thing because neither one of y'all fathers take your time on that. But, just as a father's state of mind, it's like, you know, it gets hard, but you have a reason to push on or be like, let's just get through the day, make this happen, and make like, whatever what comes out of it, that's what it is, and we gonna try again tomorrow. And then it's like on the other hand, it's like, your kids watching you. So as they grow up, it's like, are they gonna see the fact that you stopped and said, "Oh, this is too hard," and just like, give it quits, or are they gonna see the fact that you pulled it through and made some work, and you stuck it out, because like I'm learning every day. Like they watch that. Even with my daughter Whitley right now, like she 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 pushing herself in the gym. She be hitting the track and all that. I be like, okay, get those miles in, you know.
Yeah, no.
It's like
No, 100.
mm-hmm.
Cause like I remember those times, and soon I remember just even being in a state of mind of like just sadness about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not getting the results that I wanted.
Yeah.
Especially like I'm working very hard. I'm down there sacrificing sleep over it. But I had to realize it's like, what is this trying to build in me? Like, what is this moment trying to teach me? I had to sit in that and reflect very hard because I realized that this wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? And who's to say that this moment is bad?
Right. That too.
I really had to work on that because as soon as we stop labeling things as good or bad, that's when we can really move forward in our mindset to change our reality about the particular thing that we're trying to grow in, develop, you know what I'm saying, or even walk into to start. So, and just like you said earlier, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Nipsey, you are closer to where you are going. So you have to think about all your progress from that moment that you're thinking, oh, this is a bad moment. And you got to rewind, think about your progress, think about how far you came, and realize like, oh, snap, like this is my step ladder, to reach where I need to be. Oh, this is my helping hand. Because perseverance is something that we have to keep in our mind and hearts to be able to, go through those moments that we're letting emotion get over us. We're letting the effort, weaken our structure. But when we fall back on that system, that's what's going to help elevate us.
Yeah, nah, exactly. And all those moments where I did feel down or, did feel like, I didn't have it in me to push through, I found it in me to push through.
Exactly, right.
And in all those, like, I'm able to reach back to those moments. And it's like, the strength that is, you know, built and created in me. You know, it's like, you know, people tell me stories and things like that, and you know, I have to keep quiet sometimes. Like, no, all the time, honestly, just because, yeah, if I've really started saying like, you know, stuff I've been through, it's like, yeah, it ain't, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People feel like I'm that's one thing I'm learning, to be honest, because it's like I try not to be that person that I try not to be that person that like judges or stereotypes another person's process, or processing or mental space, like when they tell me what's going on, because I know what I've been through or what I've overcome and stuff like that. But it's like sometimes when people, sometimes when people, daddy, hi. Sometimes when people are venting or letting me know like what they got going on, I don't get too personal, but I just let them know like you got it, bro. Like you, and then it's like, cause sometimes you talk to someone or you just know someone personally, and it's like I know you stronger than that, bro. Like I know you better than that. Like you've been through more than that. You know, reflect. You done more, you been more. Come on. Like tighten up. Like I'm not telling you don't feel your emotions. Like feel your emotions, process the moment, do what you gotta do, but don't stay stuck there.
Mm-hmm. Real talk, bro. Those are like the essentials to like keep yourself reminded, reflect, and move forward. That's
Right.
when you feel it and you walk through it, you'll be surprised how a new of a person you just became in that
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that all comes like, yeah, like as you grow in age and stuff like that, just understanding boundaries and how you express yourself at like, yeah, with certain folk. Um, like, yeah, for instance, like just at work, you know, I'm around a group. It's like me and two other dudes. Like we around the same age, and we got another guy who's a bit younger. And you know, just like we work at a certain pace, he work a little bit slower. Like, you know, we talk about certain things, and then he talk about other things, and we all like get him kind of on our level in a sense. Um, and it's like, yeah, like some of the things he complains about is like, we understand, you know, we understand how you feel. At the same time, it's like, you know, sometimes you got to pick things up. Sometimes you just can't let certain things get to you. Sometimes you got to get out of your mind, out of your head, get out of your own way. And sometimes you got to tell people to shut up. Like, you know, when they talking to, like, just not like, shut up, bro. Nah, this ain't the time.
Right.
You know, like, be all right doing that too. Like that's a part of life.
Hey, bro.
Real talk, man.
That's real. That's real.
I appreciate just the strong messages that you gentlemen just brought. You know what I'm saying? Like we always say for the collective, we're pushing the narrative forward, and the narrative is you. So like these things that we talking about is centered around your narrative, because if you don't really try to hone them, file them down, and realize where you're trying to walk in your own story, you feel like you living someone else's story. You feel like you pushing someone else's narrative. So
No, yeah, right.
we'll lock into that. But you gentlemen got any closing words for the chat, for the collective, man?
Man, go ahead. Let's see you getting started.
Yeah, yeah, nothing in particular. Just you know, find your frequency. You know, hopefully it leans a little bit towards, you know, more positive, and you know, stick there. stay there, and no matter what you're going through, it's like take the good with the bad. No bad days.
Bad days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
If you only want good days or sunshine, just realize you'll never grow. And realize those so-called bad days in the dirt is what helping you build and grow into the person you need to be. So reflect.
Right. Let's keep moving and grooving. Heads raised always.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you going forward with whatever you trying to do. You're gonna have them bad days. You're gonna have the roller coasters. You're gonna have the dirt, the rain. All of that stuff. You're gonna deal with people that's kind of in the way. You're gonna deal with all of that, but you know, remember your why, and remember why you do it, what you do it for. Remember the end goal, and sometimes the goal you get to bigger than the goal you started with. Just remember why you do it. And it's like just keep pushing forward. Just That's really all it is. Just keep pushing forward. Everything really a mental game for real. Like like a lot of times in the gym or even with boxing, they say it's mental, it's all mental, but that's with anything for real. Like it's all mental. The if you can train your mind to push on and keep going, and today's only today, then you can do anything for real.
All right, that's a wrap.
Yes sir.
Peace to the collective.
Peace and love.